Hello and welcome back to another video feature of the Immersive World's Handbook. Today I'm back at the Currywurst Museum in Berlin, Germany, and I wanted to emphasize in this video some of the ways that the senses are used to create immersion within the space. And quite obviously at an initial level, many museums like the Currywurst Museum use sight and vision to interact with the guest. So obviously the displays, the multimedia displays, the signage, all have a predominant part to play in the creation of immersion within a space that I should say is a rather small museum. Another aspect of this emphasis on vision is effectively using color. Red, which of course has the connection to the ketchup that makes up the sauce along with the curry in the beloved German food Currywurst. And I think as you see with the other senses here, there's a way to use these in an amalgamated, integrated sense. As we move on from vision to audiovisual aspects and specifically sound, you could see here in one of the displays from the museum, there's a recreation of a nimbus of a food-side stand, a roadside food stand. And in this particular case, the guest can press various buttons at the display. Pressing a button here, they hear a sound of sausages cooking. In other cases, a button is pressed and French fries are heard in hot oil. And then another part of the museum features smell. And smell, I think, is one of the underused senses in many museal immersive spaces that typically don't involve food. And so in this particular case, the guest is able to play a game where they have to guess some of the main ingredients in the sauces used in Currywurst. And so as they go from these displays, they play a bit of a guessing game, and they're asked to smell and identify spices like fennel and spices like cinnamon. And I think what this does ultimately is to increase the immersiveness of the experience. As I talk about in so many places in the Immersive World's Handbook, the senses are such a evocative site or foundation on which to create immersion. And we shouldn't forget this fact, for museums, I think, are in the business today of really trying to identify ways of better connecting with guests, particularly as museums, interpretive centers are competing with popular spaces, spaces that normally don't focus on education, like theme parks and themed casinos. And a last fun way that we see the senses here at the Currywurst Museum is through taste. At the end of the museum, everyone receives here a small cup of Currywurst. And I think this is one of the many ways in which this museum creates effective immersion by reaching out to the guest and offering them an opportunity to use a multitude of their senses. So I hope you enjoy this feature, and we will come back for additional video features that focus on sensory spaces and many others for the Immersive World's Handbook.